Alright, welcome back to this video. It's been a while since we've had one, but we're about to start our next unit, and it is a unit on triangles. Okay, so this first little section is just kind of a very basic introduction. I'm going to go through it pretty quickly until we get to the constructions. I'll go through those. So for the most part, this should be pretty quick and simple. Skip forward past the parts that you remember. Alright, so this first one, just look at triangle sum conjecture. Just remember that the sum of every measure, that the sum of the measures of the angles in every triangle is 180 degrees. You should have learned that back in probably maybe in elementary school. Just real quick, couple very fast examples that we'll go through. So if I want to find that missing angle x, remember that just little box there in the right hand corner, or I'm sorry, at the angle there just means it's a right angle. So to find my angles, 90 and 42 is 132. 180 minus 132 is 48. So our missing angle there is 48 degrees. Okay, pretty simple, straightforward. More of the problems, however, that you're going to see in class are going to look more like the second example here. So I want to find that missing angle x. Well, I've got a lot of different things that I can use, but basically what we're going to use is trying to find these angles inside the triangle, and then I know that these two, the angle x and this angle y here, are a linear pair. Okay, alright, so if this angle right here is 110 degrees, that means that that angle inside the triangle is 70. If this angle is 105, so I just take that 180 minus 105 because they're a linear pair of angles, so it's 75 degrees. So that angle is 75. Now I can find out what that angle y is. 75 and 70 is 145. 180 minus 145 is 35. So y is 35 degrees. Now if I want to find x, 180 minus 35 is 145 degrees for angle x. Okay, again, fairly simple little example. Alright, now let's look at a couple constructions. Okay, now with the constructions, again, we're going to use that compass and straight edge. Just to kind of do a couple basic ones, I just want to show you a couple of examples real quick on how we will construct these triangles based on specific figures that we are given. Okay, so it tells us that given angle A and angle B in triangle ABD, we want to construct angle D. That one we're actually going to talk about in class, because I want you to think about this one and trying to figure out a good way that you could get that angle D. Okay, again, we'll talk about that one in class. Alright, so we'll look at this next one. I gave you angle A and angle C and side AC. We want to construct that triangle ABC. Okay, well the first thing that I need to do is I need to start with the side of my triangle. I don't care how long it is, but I just need to start with the side. So I'm going to say that this is my angle A here. Okay, so the first thing that I'll go ahead and do is copy angle A. So remember, just as a quick review, put the metal point on A, open it up, doesn't matter how far, draw that arc in there, back down to my triangle here. I'm going to draw that arc, assuming it lets me use the color here. There it goes. I'm going to draw that arc in there, go back up to my original angle, and the most important step in the entire process, I'm going to measure that arc. Okay, so I'm going to go through this kind of quickly here. So I measured that arc, so I'm going to go back down to my angle, put that there, draw another little arc in there, and that's going to be another side of my triangle. Okay, well I've been given angle A and C, so I'm going to go ahead and say that I'm going to put AC here along the bottom. So I need to go ahead and measure that, oops, with my compass. So there's AC. So let me go ahead and measure that. Right about there. Go back down to my picture here. And let me just turn that. Alright, so I put the metal point where angle A is. Draw a little arc in there. That is my point C. Last thing I do is I've got to make sure I copy that angle C, because if I don't copy angle C, I'm not real sure where it goes on that other side. So let's go to angle C. Move the ruler out of the way. Draw an arc in there. Put the metal point there. Draw an arc in there. Go back up to my design here. I want to measure that, so I've measured that arc. Back down to my new one. Put my metal point here, rotate it, and there you go. So this new side here, well, that worked out pretty good. That was lucky. And so that goes right through there. So that's my triangle, triangle A, B, C. Okay, that's it. Okay, now make sure that you look at this example and try and make sure that you can figure out a way to do that. And I'll ask for at least 1 or 2 volunteers on how you're able to construct that angle D. And there's a couple different ways to do it. I know, just briefly review of our isosceles triangle. This will be real quick because we've already talked about this before. Remember, our isosceles triangles, our 2 congruent sides are our legs. Okay, those are our legs. These 2 angles down here are our base angles. Okay, those are our base angles. In a traditional, I guess, would you think of an isosceles triangle with just 2 sides that are the same? The side that is not the same is your base. And then finally, that angle right there is your vertex. Okay, so quick review over that. Just remember that your base angles are congruent. Let me grab a different color here. So our base angles are congruent. Okay. Just real quick here, the isosceles triangle conjecture. If a triangle is isosceles, then, and remember, this is a little different than probably what you're used to, then it has at least 2 congruent sides. Okay, at least 2. Could have 3, but it has to have at least 2. Alright, just a couple quick examples. Again, we're just going to go through these very quickly, just to as a very brief review. If you don't need the review, you can stop the video here, and you'd be just fine. Okay. Alright, so I want to find that missing angle X. This is an isosceles triangle. Let me go ahead and mark that for you. So that's an isosceles triangle there. So if I want to find that missing angle, I need to first find these 2 congruent angles here. So I can just take that 180 minus 48 is 132. These 2 angles that I marked are congruent, so divide that by 2, which gives us 66 degrees. So I want that angle X, so 180 minus 66 is 114 degrees. Okay. Last example that we'll do. I want to solve for y, so if that side is 13y minus 4, this side is also 13y minus 4. I know the perimeter is 123, so I'll just set up my equation. So 13y minus 4, I've got 2 of those, so times 2 plus 27 equals 123. Whoops, sorry about that. Okay, so I just want to solve for x here. So I'll distribute, so that gives me 26y minus 8 plus 27 equals 123. Go ahead and combine my like terms. So I got 26y plus 19 equals 123. Subtract 19 from both sides. So I got 26y equals what, 104. Divide both sides by 26. So you're going to get your y equal to, and so that's going to give us y is equal to 4. And that's it for the notes. Thanks for watching. And we're not going to have a little quiz over this tomorrow. It's just a basic review, but we will have a little short, fairly short assignment on it. And that's it for today. Thanks a lot.